price action trading, how candlesticks move from level to level, either in bullish momentum or we get bearish sentiment. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dr. B. Welcome again to the channel. If you are new here, I appreciate you so much for being here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. A lot of you aren't subscribed yet. You're coming from those searchable videos, maybe this one in particular. And I'd love for you to check out the other videos and go ahead and earn your subscription. Make sure you turn on those notifications because you get an email, a notified message that I have pumped out a new video. We're pumping out about a video or so a day. So you got 7 to 10 videos a week. All right. Let me know which videos you'd like to see down below. This one was highly requested about price action. All right. So we're going to go into it. I'm going to show you the market is closed at the time here, but I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like when we have a specific candle. All right. So here is what the candlesticks mean. Okay. Price action simply means how price moves from level to level in a specific time frame and or interval. Okay. So at the bottom of my chart, you can see the intervals: 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, 1 week, 1 month. Okay. So we can, as traders and investors, go between different intervals and see how price is moving to showcase, do we have more sellers in a certain area or do we have more buyers in a certain area? Okay. That allows us to have a sentiment for that particular day, week, and or month. Or if we're day trading or scalping, intraday. Are we weak for the day and we want to enter put options, or are we strong for the day and we can enter call options? All right. So let's look at this bullish candle here. All right. And I want to debunk some things, especially for beginners, that just because the candle is green, and you'll see on the charts in just a second, does not mean enter calls just because a candle's green. And it does not mean just enter puts just because a candle is red. Okay. The top end of the candle, as you can see here, bullish candle, is the highest price for the day. Okay. We have the lowest price for the day on the wicks. Okay. The real body, or the body of the candle, is the opening price for the day when the New York session market opens, ideally, in this case for options trading. And then we have a close price for that particular candle, whichever interval that you're on. Okay. For a bearish candle, we open the price at the top of the real body. The highest price for that candle is at the top of the wick. And then we have the lowest price and then the close price of that candle. So let me go over it here. Just say the market opens, you're trading NVIDIA. Okay. NVIDIA opens, just say at 180. Okay. It pushes down to 177, lowest price, and then turns this candle back green, and you push all the way back up, just say to 187, and then closes at 185. Okay. Now, just say the next candle that you open up on NVIDIA, just say it's a 5 minute or so. That candle opens. So you see, you come across the close price, you open this red candle, you try to push higher. It comes all the way down here and then pushes up and closes right there. Okay. So that is how to read candle structure. Now let's go on the charts, and more specifically, I'm going to show you on my Webull platform. And that's just because that's what I typically chart on. No rhyme or reason. If you use Robinhood Legend, it's the same thing. So since we're using NVIDIA for this example, let's look at some candlesticks on NVIDIA. Okay. Let's look at a daily candlestick. All right. So we can see that this candlestick right here is what happened with NVIDIA today. Okay. So we went all the way down. Okay. So the market opened right here on NVIDIA. This is how we read this candle. Market opened at 185 on NVIDIA, pushed all the way down to 178. It was all red for NVIDIA all day, got bought back up at this support range, right? That's why we mark support and resistance. Okay. So you can see that that looks like a floor right there on NVIDIA. Okay. Where all those buyers are sitting at 177, 178, 180. Okay. What happened right there? What happened right there? And we went all the way back up to the highs. All right. So NVIDIA right here has reversed this candle into a bullish green hammer candle. Okay. Very bullish candle right there going into next week. So how do you read this sentiment with a very structured kind of strategy or what's coming next? All right. When you see this type of candle, That is squeezing shorts or anyone that's in puts out of their position, and buyers are stepping back in to buy those back up. Okay. So what we should expect in NVIDIA is that as long as it holds this daily 185 level, then we should see a candle follow through ideally on Monday. Okay. Now, well, Brian, does that mean we're going all the way back up here? Yeah, we can for sure with NVIDIA's earnings coming up. However, you also got to pay attention to how levels react. Okay. So we might have the next candle pushing up back to what? This resistance area of 193 and 195. So that's our next target that NVIDIA is trying to go to. Okay. So we've got a bullish structure, right? At the bottom of this daily candle, the higher the time frame candles, the more confirming the potential next move can be. I'll repeat that again. The higher the time frame candle, the more confirming the next move, next week, next day will be. What do I mean by that? That means that up here, a lot of people, including myself, I thought NVIDIA was maybe going to hold up this 195, but do you see this type of candle here on NVIDIA? Okay. That is a bearish sentimented candle, a very heavy top wick. It was green, sold all the way back off, became red. And then what followed the next day? More downside. Same thing here. If we have a big bullish green candle here, what should follow? We should take out this new daily high right here at 188 and try to push up into this 195, which is our next zone. And if we blast through that 195, which I suspect we will probably do, then we can start getting more confirmed bullishness. Okay. As a trader intraday, now, if you're picking up shares or you've got long dated call options out 3 months, 6 months, you're not too much concerned about what's happening day to day necessarily. Okay. You're just like, buy the dip. But if you are trying to really learn how to read the market day in and day out, what's going to happen for that week. Okay. What we should see on NVIDIA is a nice push above this 195. And then we sit on here. And we consolidate and we should go higher. Okay. Do you see how it would turn that next resistance, right, into a support, right? So now we're stair stepping our way back up. Okay. Now, Brian, what if I get a candle that opens up, pushes all the way up into here, and then we get a candle that maybe looks like this? Okay, let me get a trend line. Let me see if I can line it up. Not really lining too perfectly, but just say like right there. Okay. What if a candle looks like that, but it's green? You see that? We get the next candle that pushes up here and then sells off and closes back underneath, right? That is still, quote unquote, sellers or bearish nature still in the market. That is why people get faked out up here, like bulls, inner calls, gap fill, all the way back up to the highs. And then what is going on? What's happening? Because the price action at your levels is telling you a story. Okay. So you want to mark your levels, support and resistance. So right now, this is resistance. Okay. So what I should expect, again, on Monday or sometime next week, especially if the government opens back up, we should have a nice bullish push into that 195. Okay, so that's your next target if you're in NVIDIA calls, which I know a lot of people are looking for going into their earnings on the 19th. All right, so this is a beautiful hammer candle, which bulls want to see that we held this level of support at this high volume node. Okay, that's a volume profile. It just is a indicator that allows us to see where volume is coming in, and it's right there on that daily node. All right. Through here are low volume areas. So if we get above this area, do you see this low volume area? That's typically when you get those squeezes. All right. Look what happened here in this low volume area. See how it just squeezes through there and goes higher? That's a possibility. Okay. So be on watch. Here's your gem for the day. Be on watch for NVIDIA holding up 185 as your support. Okay. So on Monday, let me look at after hours here. Okay, let's go to chart settings, extended hours, and I can see what's going on in the after hours. Okay, so what you'll see on the video, look at here, I still have to mark, and look what I do when I come into the intraday, okay, the shorter time frame. So the dark black area is when the market's open. Okay, we don't want to get trapped, right? You don't want to get trapped chasing again, because when people get trapped, that means that they just assume and they jump in. Price action is here for us to react, okay? Not just jump in because we see something, all right? So another level that we probably need to clear is above that 190, 191. You see what happened the previous day? We've changed direction with big bullish structure here, okay? You just saw on the daily, right there, that hammer candle. But look at the 15-minute. We got one more big level to clear, okay, which is right here. Okay, it's very, very small, but it's a round even psychological level of 190. So if you see on Monday or Tuesday, the government opens and we're up here above 190, now that's where we get interested in this holding and going, okay? So you don't chase the move up. It confirms that we're upside and you wait for the pullback, hold, and then go higher. It's called a break and a retest, okay? Or in this case, a reclaim. You have reclaimed back above the previous day low right there. Do you see that? 186, which was very key at the end of the market for NVIDIA to close above 186. Because if we would have stayed below and rejected back underneath, you see what happens the previous days. What happened here, right? Could not get back above the previous day low, came lower. Look what happened here, right? Could not get back above, close back below the previous day low, right? And we're just closing below previous day low. Here is the first time, right, since this little correctional pullback that we have reclaimed the previous day low. So you want to mark that on your charts and watch how the price action reacts on Monday. All right. So if you bought the dip on the video, congrats. It's awesome, right? I like to confirm a little bit just to make sure so I don't get involved with something like this. Okay. Look, buy the dip here, whoop, slammed, right? So I still have my head, as I call, on a swivel to make sure that I like to see a retest. So great, we bought this dip, pull back one more time, hold, then build. See that? That's that higher low right there at 186, all right? So hopefully this helped you out with price action and understanding candlesticks. Let me know how I can support you any further. If you'd like to join Leverage University, are you kidding me? There we go. All right. I'm in. I'm out. We're out. Peace. Talk to y'all soon.